Did you know that about 90% of people gain body fat back once they've lost it? Not only do they gain it back, but sometimes it's even more after that. I was part of that statistic for years and years and years. With the new year coming, I'm sure a lot of people have New Year's resolutions that involve fitness goals. You don't have to be part of the statistic of people that gain it all back. If you do things the right way, you can lose body fat and keep it off. That is what I'm going to be discussing in this video. If you need help getting a good kickstart towards your goals, I have my 28-day Conquering Quarantine Challenge releasing again after Christmas. So it's a really awesome kickstart to your journey. It can get you some really good results in those first few weeks. Start the new year off with a bang. Bah! So the first reason is if you weren't really that overweight to begin with. Now, the reasoning behind this is because if you're not starting at a high body fat, like you're already fairly lean and you want to be leaner, you may find that you struggle with a lot more hunger and cravings as you get closer to your goal. This is because you're kind of getting past your body's natural body fat set point. So your body's like, no, give us food, give us food. So your hunger is just like, bah, and then it's a lot easier to put it back on. So you just want to implement techniques, diet breaks, refeeds, things to just kind of keep those hunger levels in check so you're not going crazy and ruining your hard work. So the second reason why people put body fat back on is because of muscle loss. So a lot of people think that just because you're losing body fat, you're automatically gonna lose muscle, and this doesn't have to happen. Some of it is gonna depend on your starting point, how much muscle you already have, your fitness background, blah, 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 blah. But you don't have to lose muscle. If you set up your training routine properly, you're focused on getting stronger and progressively overloading over time, then you're gonna maintain as much muscle as possible, which is going to keep your metabolism going. It's gonna keep it burning, because when you lose that muscle, that's when your metabolism starts to slow down because your body doesn't burn as many calories as when it has more muscle mass. And the good part is you can still do this if your gym is closed and you're working out at home. So another reason why people gain body fat back easily is if you're in a calorie deficit for an extended period of time. Your metabolism, it adapts to things pretty easily. If you're in this big deficit for months and months and months, or even years, who knows, your metabolism slowly starts to adapt, and then when you eat more, it makes it a lot easier to put body fat back on. Now, obviously this doesn't mean don't go in a calorie deficit, don't do this, because that's how to lose body fat. But you just want to make sure you're more responsible with setting up your fat loss phases, adding refeeds, adding diet breaks. It's going to work a little bit differently for everybody because everyone is so different, but it's important to know, don't just have this big, long, forever stretch of calorie deficit. So the next reason why people gain body fat back easily is if they are frequent dieters. So this is a little bit different than the last point, which was long-term dieting. With this, it's short bursts of dieting followed by overeating. So it's more so yo-yo dieting. So this is like what I used to do. Having that calorie deficit, your metabolism adapts, then you add calories back, your metabolism hasn't adapted yet, so you gain weight and you lose, and you just keep like digging yourself into a hole. But good news is the metabolism slowdown adaptation can be turned around, but you do have to know that it does take time. It didn't happen overnight that it adapted and slowed down, so it's not going to speed up overnight as well. Baxter is here to help me tell you about the next reason why people gain body fat back. Take it away, Baxter.
The next reason why people gain their body fat back is if they don't have a proper exit strategy or a proper long-term plan.
That is right, Baxter. A proper exit strategy and long-term plan is very important. Baxter's actually lost some weight over the years, and he's kept it off very nicely because he has had a proper strategy and long-term plan. And so has Roxy. Roxy here has also used the same method, and she has remained slim and trim. Right? You are slim and trim. For the long-term strategy, maybe you still want to lose more body fat, maybe you want to maintain. It's important to just have to have a plan, and of course it can change as you go depending on how your body responds, but having that long-term plan of action can help you make sure that you're not digging yourself into a hole and making things harder for yourself in the future. What got you to the point that you're at now isn't necessarily going to get you to where you want to be. So I'll have some clients where they'll start off and they may pay a little bit more attention to nutrition, or maybe they'll pay more attention to workouts. And then the next time they'll continue on and they'll add in a little bit more. It's just knowing that each step of the way, things are gonna have to be a little bit different. So that's why it's important to understand how things can shift. I've briefly mentioned the reverse dieting, the free feeds. Baxter, you're distracting me. Baxter, basically what he did is he finished losing weight and then he basically just went to his maintenance. So it was pretty easy. Some people, maybe they'll lose weight and then maybe they'll take a little diet break. Some people, maybe they'll start with reverse dieting. There's just so many different methods and everyone is so different. So it's just important to understand that and not just follow some random approach that you see. What works for Baxter might not work for me. What worked for Roxy might not work for Baxter. It can just kind of help with mental sanity if you have a long-term approach. So let's say that you're in a calorie deficit and you're having some cravings, but you know, oh, in 3 weeks from now, I have a little diet break planned. So that can kind of help you hold on to that sanity. So it's just about planning, knowing what's gonna make you stay on track the most, while knowing what's gonna make it easiest to stay on track, and what's going to keep you healthy and happy in the long run. Right, Baxter Bean? Right, Baxter Bean? He's the star. He's the little star. Ouch. Ouch-a-roonies. Ouch-a-roonies, Beansy Bear. Alrighty, and that is going to conclude this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the links in the description box below for details on the 28-day Conquering Quarantine Challenge. Like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!